Another episode of Beyond the Beef, where we not only talk about everyday problems, we talk about everyday solutions.
Hey, Bob.
Hey,
good to see you again.
My twin.
Yeah, you look good. I like that shirt.
This was another one of those days. It was like, hit record, holy mackerel, we're dressed alike. So either somebody's changing their shirt or we're just going to make fun of it.
We're rolling.
Oh, my goodness.
We're rolling. Yeah, that's pretty great. Does yours have a pocket here, too? I got a little pocket.
No, I hate pockets in shirts. Oh, really? I don't know why. I just
think it adds a little flair. It adds a little spice, you know?
Yeah.
Makes it look a little different.
Well, okay. Of course, as you know, I have my rules, my rules. So rule number one is that for long sleeve shirts, I never wear V-necks. Okay. I don't know why. Okay. For short sleeve shirts, I do. And I like these necks. And I never like pockets. Ever.
That's an interesting... Why the long, short V-neck kind of thing?
I have no idea. I just
maybe a V-neck feels more summery and spry, and you kind of let the chest breathe a little more, and you don't want to be
I think
bogged down with sleeves if you're letting the chest breathe. Maybe
I guess it's like that, but for me, it doesn't look as good with a long sleeve. And that sounds like it's crazy, but think about this: a turtleneck, or now mock turtleneck. Yeah, you wouldn't wear that with short sleeve. Because it doesn't look right.
No, that's not right. Yeah,
that's not right.
Yeah, so I think it's a little warm.
Yeah, it's like, so I think it probably is that it plays with the senses, right? So V-neck is it makes more cooling.
Right. I think it's probably a similar thing. Yeah. I'm not a mock neck guy because I don't like the way they get all like funky sometimes. Like
they do get
sometimes
funky.
They get like a little like whatever. I'm very the collar thing. I can't get all messed up. It's just one of those things.
These turtlenecks. Yeah. I just had to get rid of it.
In probably 30 years. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Well, we made fun of it before.
It makes me nuts.
It does. It's choking. It's
I'm
not.
a comfort guy. Yeah.
Yes. I'm with you. But anyway, I think we both look good today.
I agree. Why would it change?
Yours is long sleeve too, right?
It is long sleeve, yes.
But just has a pocket.
Just has a pocket.
This is the only thing that separates us is a pocket.
Just a pocket.
And some hair. A little bit of hair.
And a lot
of hair, actually. A lot of hair.
And a little bit of gray. And a little gray. I'm much grayer than you.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. You don't just for men that thing, do you?
Huh?
You don't just for men that thing, do you? Like, do you color it at all or anything?
What in the world would be the point?
Well, you're just not gray at all. I know I've been through I've been through a lot in my life, but I got pretty gray. I got pretty gray pretty early.
You're considerably younger, but that happens. I mean,
true.
No, I would never dye my. What am I working with here? Like,
I don't know. I didn't know if you like to splash the beard a little.
As people get older and they do things like that, I'm always like, do you not realize the rest of the world sees you differently? Like,
well, that's a big, that's, I'm the same way. Like, even with some of these people that we see on TV that have done so much to their faces, right? Like, I watched this show, what show was I thinking of? The Boys. It's a crazy show. It's called The Boys. It's on Prime. It's great. But there was a really pretty woman, younger woman, that in one season I was like, she is, she's a pretty girl, this and that, yada yada. Younger side. She comes back the next season and has done more work to her face, and I'm like, what has happened? You look atrocious. I don't know why you don't just embrace who you are. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that's true. And a lot of people will say, maybe people that are doing it will say, oh, well, because society doesn't accept it and because Hollywood and this and that. Well, you're perpetuating that though, right? By doing that, you're not making it normal to get old, right? And to look old. I mean, there's nothing wrong with aging.
I think the self-view sometimes can be so damaging, but that's all. I just don't like that stuff. So I'll go a little salt and pepper. I'll keep it. Yeah. My wife will keep telling me at some point I'm going to need Botox in my forehead, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be a wrinkly old man. Hopefully she loves it.
Well, I'll tell you something. This is a plastic surgery thing. So there was a major star, let's just say, I won't name names, but a major star that I was sitting next to on an airplane, right? And I'm going to be sitting across from, whatever. I did not bother this major star. But I did not recognize this major star until They came off the airplane and there was a sign waiting for them.
With the name on?
Not in the baggage, but at the airplone. You know, like you get off the airplane, no one's supposed to be there. Yeah.
So they're getting a little bit of escort service. They're getting a little more. Right? Yeah, a little
and
more.
I was like, and it said the sign. I was like, what? And I looked. I was like, oh my God. So this is a person that on television looks amazing. Like, but in person looks literally like melted.
Really?
It was, oh my God.
See,
it was unbelievable. And maybe they didn't have makeup on.
Maybe that's the work of the makeup and things to that nature for sure, right?
But it is really not real. I mean, when you look at people that have had a lot of plastic surgery, they're very, like, this person's older, right? 70s, that type of thing. But man, it really showed me that, like, maybe plastic surgery is a good basis for makeup and cameras to pick up things, but in real life, that plastic surgery did not take.
It's just tough for me. Like, I'm a natural guy. Like,
I am too.
The way you look, the way you everything about it. It's just life.
What's
just
the
life?
Difference?
But society, I guess. And people want to challenge and people want to keep up and do whatever they got to do to feel good. And you know what? I don't judge. I just
do what you want.
Just do what I'm going to do.
Do what you want. Just realize that most of the time you're 50 or 60, man or woman, and you get plastic surgery. There are very few 20-year-olds that are saying, wow, you're hot, right? That's what I think people think, right? It's like, oh no, everybody wants me. It's like nobody
just says
wants
they
you.
aged well when they have plastic surgery. Like when people don't have things, or maybe like little things here and there, like there's little tweaks that people, whatever.
Yeah.
But when somebody does major work and you're like, wow, they've aged well, you're like, man, they've had a lot of work done. Like
that's
there's just
right.
a difference
that's exactly
there.
Right. It's not like you look good. It's like, wow, you got a lot of surgery. Exactly right. And again, like if you're doing it to make yourself more attractive, because we'll do it to make myself feel good about myself. What do you really? What's making you feel good? What's making you feel good is you think you're more attractive.
You're looking better. Yeah, that's it.
But
that's
no one sees you that way, right?
Yeah. We don't, at least. Maybe there are people that
that's
do.
True. Yeah, maybe
right?
That's true.
Who knows? Maybe their spouse says, you know what, you look much better after that or after that.
Yeah.
You know what? If that's the case, that's all they should really care about, right? That's it.
Or maybe they really needed it because they were heinous.
And some people maybe
it's true. I'm not sure.
Yeah, some people maybe should just get like a face off. Just get somebody else's face. Just switch. You can talk and pull all you want. It ain't gonna help.
It ain't gonna help. But I'll tell you, I'm like really, maybe it's because I'm turned off by it. I am very unattracted to people who are not natural or aging gracefully or things like that. Just me. I don't judge them for what they're doing.
Yeah,
it's just, for me, I don't find it attractive. Even anything fake, like, the fake,
I know
enhancements anywhere. I don't find it attractive. It's a total turn off to me. So maybe that's just me. I don't know.
People are different. Maybe maybe they don't care what you think.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they don't. Nor should they. Nor should they.
Yeah,
this is true.
I'm with you.
Oh man! All right, you want to know what happened to me?
It's been a bit, so I'm sure there's a couple of things. Why don't you start? Tell me what happened to me.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, we have Thanksgiving.
No, whatever.
We probably have some Thanksgiving stories.
I want to know what happened to you. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what happened to me yesterday. This is what I want to tell you.
Fresh.
You know why? Because I'm me and these things happen to me. So, you know, I have these stories of like, how many people does this ever happen to? Well, you tell me.
Okay.
All right.
I'll tell you if it's ever happened to me.
So, I have this older car that I'm driving into the ground, that's voluntarily. It's a Honda Pilot.
Pilot, right? Yeah.
2006.
Okay. Yeah.
Old.
Yeah.
But I love it because
the blue one, right?
Because it works and it gets me from two.
I had a Pilot back then.
Mm-hmm. That's good. It's got like 150,000 miles, which really for that old of a car is not that bad. But at the end of the day, I use it for hauling stuff around and all the stuff I do.
Love
right?
the Pilot. Yeah, sure.
It's great. Okay. But I don't keep it in the garage. Mm-hmm. I have our other car in the garage and I have a lot of stuff in there, as you could probably imagine. So I keep it outside. Mm-hmm. Okay, no big deal. So I'm saying this because when I go out, take the car out to do whatever I'm doing, sometimes I'll indulge in a Dunkin' Donuts coffee or whatever, and maybe a muffin or something like that.
Sure, yeah,
okay. Really. Which are very crumbly. This is going somewhere. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm. No, I got you.
So yesterday I did this. I got a coffee. I got a muffin. got the crumbles.
Treat yourself a little bit.
Treat myself a little. I'm eating. And you know that my car is one that you could eat off the floor, right?
Of course.
Of course. Everything's in place. It's perfect. Everything else.
You eat off of mine too, but you're going to catch something. You're going to
I'm not
get a little dirt.
Yours.
You're going to get a little something in there. So.
Let me clarify this.
I mean, you could do it. It's just not going to end well. It's just make it a couple wrappers, maybe some spaghetti from last week. I don't know, something.
Last time I got in that thing, I couldn't get out. I was sticking to the seat. My feet were sticking to the floor. I'm like, what the?
But you could eat off of it. It's just not going to end well.
By the way, I'm fascinated by people like you that have these messy cars in a way that I'm like half intrigued and half envious, because it just indicates that like, you just go and you do your thing, right? And of course, I've got to be anal, which is annoying.
When I got my last car, I keep it a lot cleaner than I've kept cars in the past. That's a fact.
Oh,
and you've noticed the last couple. Oh, your car's clean. You always make a point and make a nice snide comment.
No.
Oh, look at that!
And I don't think I've ever said. I don't think I've ever said it's clean.
Yeah. Oh, it's cleaner. Yeah,
cleaner.
It's not Bob clean. Yeah. Oh, look. And I'll have like a cup in the cup holder. You're like, oh, jeez, this thing's a mess, But I used to be a little less diligent around cleaning. Like I wasn't living out of my car, just
Listen, this isn't a criticism.
I've come a long way, but let's get back to your story, Mr. Crumbles. Let's get to your Crumble story.
We have to know that this is important, right? Because now me, a waste not, want not type of guy, we've talked about this, we're supposed to clean our plates and all this other stuff. Sure. So, the crumbs get where they're going to get, and I didn't want to eat them, right? So because I have a nice clean car, if I find a crumb that is dropped onto the dash.
I'm surprised you're even eating a muffin in your car, but okay.
You're right, but only a 2006. I would never eat it in a, newer car. Anyway, back to this. So I'm eating. All right. So I pick up what I think is a crumb that has fallen, and I go to eat it, and it is not a crumb. It is, in fact, a piece of napkin. Now, I have napkins there because, of course, I'm not going to put the muffin right on the whatever. So I have napkins that I keep in the car, and I put the muffin on top of the napkin. And I figure, okay, this is chewed. And I look down, and there is the napkin, and it's been all chewed up. And what's on there? Mouse droppings. There's a mouse in my car.
Oh,
eating my muffin crumbs.
Gosh.
Now, I keep
immediately eating your muffin crumbs? Like, this is not a current muffin.
But he is there. I mean, he has been there. Yeah. And so I ate this, this chewed up mouse napkin.
Wow.
It was a whole different problem. But I almost ate a dropping because there's droppings there. And so I'm like, oh my God.
What did you I'm surprised you're even here.
So I'm driving at this point, I'm driving my daughter to school.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I roll the window down. I'm hawking.
And loogies out the window.
Loogies out there, going everywhere. She's like, Dad, what are you doing? There's people around. I'm like, I don't care. I'm just eating mouse droppings. Which I didn't. I don't think.
I know. But
and they have to be fresh, right? And there's all kinds of diseases you could get from this. This is a whole.
I know this.
We're going to watch me closely over the next couple of weeks, but but in any case, there's a mouse living in my car. Now, does this happen? I guess it happens. Have you ever had this happen? Not that you would know, but
well,
you probably have a whole nest in there.
Funny you say. So I want to try to. Yes, but let me go back. I just got to make sure I got this straight. This napkin that you used, you just pulled it out of the pile. And your little pilot and you didn't realize that it was already eaten a little bit already, and you put your muffin on it and started eating it. Like, this is so. Okay,
or
was it yesterday's muffin that you went back to?
No. This was today's muffin, fresh muffin. So you got the center console.
Yeah, for sure.
And then there's like a place for cups, and then there's like I'd say there's just a little place I keep napkins there. So I keep napkins as spares.
Gotcha.
Because if I have a muffin, I forgot to get a napkin.
The little mouse had gotten in there.
And so when I eat my muffin, I'll put my muffin on top of the stack of napkins.
Oh, okay. Now I'm with you. I just wanted to make sure I had this.
And so the crumbs go on the top napkin, and then I'll typically take that top napkin and throw it away. You see, it's like a reusable tablecloth. Yeah,
you'll never do that again. Yeah.
But before I do that, I will eat however many crumbs have fallen onto the napkin because napkin's nice and clean usually.
Yeah. No, I got you there. We're good. We're good from there. Yeah, I got you.
Not realizing
I got you.
That napkin has been compromised.
That is a story that is crazy. But
gross.
But it's gross.
Yes, it's gross.
It's crazy that it happened to you. Yeah.
Right.
But I will tell you, over the last year, I've had more problems with mice than I ever had before in my life.
There's a lot of them.
I don't know why, but so many. So they've been living in my grills.
I have that too.
Oh man, that guy made a whole little house in there.
Yeah.
So a lot of different things that have been going on. But ironically, one of the issues I have right now is I have a small gas leak in my car. So when I drive at certain times, I could smell gas. And so something was going on. My mother-in-law comes to the house a few weeks ago and she's like, you should probably check your car. I think there's some mice living in your car, because I saw some little thing. What do you know? There's mice. There was mice.
Now, wait a second.
There was mice in my engine area of the car.
And is there something that the gas goes through that they can chew through, like a rubber hose? I can't imagine that's where gas goes.
So this just happened. So I have not taken my car to the shop yet, but my, the way I'm looking at it, because I just had that happen. And then, weeks ago, my mother said that, and I was like, well, I'm not even going to really look, I didn't really, okay,
Yeah, you don't want to.
Whatever.
Really. Right. Yeah.
And there was a little fear, right? Like opening the hood, like I do every time I open my grill now, I'm like banging on it first. Yeah.
And it's amazing
it's just how the startling piece is anything else. It's just like,
I won't go near it. And it's a mouse. It's like literally a mouse. And I do the same thing. I open the grill and I see that and I'm like,
it's crazy. I like knock on the grill. I open it real quick and slam it a couple times. Hoping any of them just run away.
Right? Me too. Same thing.
But yeah. So mice are living in cars. Mice are no doubt living in cars. Now, whether or not how he got in, he probably went through your engine. It's just typically where they go through the hood, and maybe he went through a vent somewhere or something like that. They squeezed through nothing. So yeah. So,
but I did not find a nest, and I'm sure. Good. Well, I don't know that it is, because you know what I'm thinking?
There is one. You just haven't found it yet.
That's right. It's in the dash somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because that's kind of like he was in the front snacking. So here's what I did was snacking.
No, what he was doing was grabbing some napkins to build his nest.
That's right.
He does have a nest somewhere. He's like, I need napkins. And he's
good.
Getting them and building his nest. So when you find his nest, you'll get your napkin back.
By the way, here's another thing with these. Since you have the same experience as I do, in the grill, whenever I see a mouse nest in the grill, and it's almost every season, it's full of like fuzz. And I always wonder, where do they get that? Like, where does that come from? Because it's literally like, you know what I mean? Like fiberfill. Where do they get fiberfill
it's
from?
Fiberglass. They're in the walls. So they're getting, so that's where they get it from. So
that's where they get it from.
Totally. So whether it's somewhere in your house, like before we got my basement redone, I had new Bilco doors put on.
Yeah.
There were little openings that they must have found to get it from there. They were going in the, in the downstairs, grabbing that fiberglass and using that. They love using the fiberglass. Or the inside of like cushions, if you have like soft cushions.
That's what it looks like to me.
Outside, if it's white.
Outside cushions.
Then they got in a cushion somewhere.
Yeah.
And they grab that stuff and they make their little nest. And then sometimes they even make their nest right in that cushion. But that's what they're using. Cushions and fiberglass and different stuff like that.
I'll tell you another thing that they do. When I moved into this house, it had a huge mouse problem. And it was like, I couldn't imagine how the people lived here. It was like that bad. And it was like, there was mouse crap everywhere. It was just absolutely disgusting. But one of the things that I found, in addition to the several mouse nests that were in the house over the years, was acorns, like tons and tons of acorns. I don't know how they do it, but these things are big compared to what a mouse is, right? And they find a way to bring those acorns into the house, and they leave them all over the place. And I'm like, how do they do?
I had them in the bottom of my grill, a whole little stack of them in the bottom. They nest on like the top for some reason. I'm like, wouldn't you guys be more comfortable down by the burners? But they nest right on the right on the rack.
Right on the rack.
Right on the rack. But
they're industrious little things. But I can't ever say that I'm afraid of a mouse, but I suppose I am, because I do that same thing. I open the grill, I see the mouse, and if I see those beady eyes, they're startling, they're gross, there's something about them.
To see it.
We're supposed to be afraid of them, I guess, right? That's why we're afraid of them.
My mom's got an issue right now. just yesterday. I was there with an exterminator, and he was checking traps. He pulled 5 mice out of different traps and whatnot. 5 of them. I'm like, jeez.
Inside
and
the
my
house.
mom's clean. Yeah, the house. I mean, they clean. They do all sorts of stuff. But I think they're...
Oh, the clean doesn't matter. What I did with my house, and I don't have a problem inside the house anymore, is I got it sealed. So there are companies that will come and seal every single nook and cranny. I don't know how long it lasts, but it did seem to work. But now they nest all over the outside. So I have a fire pit.
That's
they're
part
in there.
of my
The fire
problem now.
Now the car. That's exactly it, right?
Yeah.
But so now I put traps. I put mouse traps inside the car, and we'll see if we catch anything. I'm sure we're going to, right? Because there's a mouse in there. Or
I'm not
mice.
even going to go as far as to ask what kind of traps you use, but that's
why not?
I'm just curious. Is it a regular snap trap, or is it like a sticky trap, or is it like a little catch? I know enough. I know.
You knew enough to say that it's probably not a normal trap.
Exact. That's why I was going to ask. Yeah.
And you are correct. It is an electronic trap. Have you ever seen these?
Yeah, where they go in and it shuts on it? Is that what it does?
No, it fries them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they go in and electrocute them.
I've not seen this.
They're actually really neat. I mean, if you like
if
this
you like
kind
killing
of thing,
mice.
but because I find the regular traps are disgusting. I mean, they literally flatten the mouse, and it's hard to look at, right? But these, whether it's humane or not, I don't know. But they're powered by 4 AA alkaline batteries, and you put some food in the back of it. They go to get the food, and I guess they get across the plates, and that's it.
Just zap them.
They zap them. And the problem with them is you got to watch where you put them, because it could also zap pets and things like that. Although it says it won't bother bigger pets, but and it works. And the good news is that it doesn't like crush them, and you don't have to literally you just take the thing and you shake them out into the woods somewhere, and then that's the end of it.
So it's really about being easier for you, not necessarily more humane. Right? It's like you don't want to see it.
Without a doubt.
Just making sure.
But I also think it's kind of a neat technology.
It is cool.
Yeah, and of course, they don't make these anymore, but I bought the smart version as well. So there's like 2 of them where it's connected to my smart mouse traps.
So you know when you're like, got one.
Got one. Yeah.
Are you serious? Did you get one in your car yet?
No, the 2 smart ones are in my house. I really have never caught anything on those, so I can't even tell you that they work. But I can do the one in the car. The one in the car is just the regular electronic one. We'll see what we get. So.
Interesting. Well, good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck,
this is gross. And such a Bob story. Like, who does this? They're eating a muffin, and they're
I mean, it's possible. It only happens to you because you're the neatest person
because I can notice it.
Yeah,
you might.
Well, because you're the neatest person, I would notice it. I would throw up like that. The story itself is making me want to vomit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I would notice it, of course, if I was eating napkin or mouse poop.
The problem is you would never eat anything off the floor of your car
because of who you are. Murphy's Law says it's going to happen to you.
100%. Yeah, and I'm the one that's going to notice it because it's out of place, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you went and cleaned your car tomorrow, you might find mouse droppings, right? Because you have a mouse living in your car.
I might. Yeah. My car is pretty clean, but I might.
But you might, but because I'm overly anal, I'm going to find these ridiculous things that nobody else does, and I should not know about them, right?
Because my car isn't quite as clean as yours, I would be eating the muffin from my hand. I would never put it down or anywhere in my car. You
absolutely would let the crumbs sit, and I would
eat it probably in the bag, if I'm being honest, and I would eat it so that any crumbs would fall into the bag, and I wouldn't even need to eat the crumbs necessarily.
Dunkin' Donuts muffins are particularly crumbly, which is I have a complaint with that, but okay. But listen,
that notes that they're not moist. Are they dry?
No, they just I don't know. Maybe they are, but they're crumbly. But anyway, yes, all this is true. And once again, these are things that happen to me for any number of different reasons. Not the least of which is Murphy's Law, like you said. Yeah. But so there it is. So this is my current dilemma with the mouse. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share today. Yeah. I mean, I probably have a gazillion stories from Thanksgiving and stuff, but it feels like it's been so long. So what's going on in your life?
It does feel like it's been so long, right? Lots is going on, man. Prepping for the holidays, it's making me nuts. It makes me nuts every year.
That's because your wife is a little crazy about the holidays.
Yes, Bob. That is part of it.
This is why. I'm sorry.
And every year it starts off so great. Like, we're going to do things different this year, right?
Yeah, right.
We're not going to stress, and we're going to get shopping done early, and we're going to get up all these things in the house, and I'm going to do 8 trees inside, and we're going to pop. Meanwhile, my tree's up downstairs, but we haven't done the lights yet. So we're still, So we got it up. It's good. It's, we go out, we cut it down, like, that's an experience we could talk about. We cut it down, we bring it home, we do all family Christmas. It's great. We bring it home. But it's like, so here we are. It's like, so much stress, and I'm just like, stop with the stress. That's I just wish that we could find a way to get through this part of the season without stress and pushing back and the back and forth and the arguing sometimes about this one and that one, the comparing who's got this gift and that gift, and did we do enough? Is it even? Is it not even? And the kids don't even know. It's like, I just want to, like, if this is the time we're supposed to be joyful and happy, I just want to be joyful and happy. And I'm tired of the things and the stuff and how spoiled we've made ourselves and everybody else around us. And therefore, we don't enjoy Christmas like we should. That's how I feel about it.
James, you're right. That's a clip.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's just maddening to me.
Now, when I grew up, I don't think we've ever talked about this, but I grew up in a household that once we were 18, we were adults.
And you knew that there was a Santa Claus? That's when they told you there was... Yeah.
What are you saying?
Talking about Santa Claus. Like, you knew that there was Santa Claus even, right? Santa Claus was still coming at 18?
Of course, right now.
I didn't know. I didn't know if he still came for you at 18 or not. Just making
What are you trying to imply?
I don't know.
Anyway, so yes, Santa Claus. Of course, it's.
I didn't say there wasn't. I just asked if he still came for you or not. You
idiot. Okay. Now, what I was going to say is that of course I get it. At 18, my parents were like, "You're adults. We're not going to do the big Christmases with the multiple gifts and things." I can't even remember if they did anything at that point, but if they did, it was considerably smaller, right?
Okay.
Now, my wife's family, they continued on with the, literally 30 gifts for each kid until they were whatever. And then once they get married, then it's 30 gifts for the spouses too. All this stuff. And I talked to a bunch of people about this, and they're like, oh yeah, my family still does it. My family still does it. I'm like, mine doesn't. So when my wife does that to our kids who are now older, and she's like getting them all this multiple stuff that they don't need or use, it's a source of problems.
It's hard, right?
Yeah, it's a problem.
The differences in the two, for sure.
Yeah.
So what happens from your perspective? Like, do you guys argue about it? Do you push back? Are you getting them too much? You're doing this or that? I want to talk more about it because I don't think we're the only ones. So
no.
I've definitely got my experiences too, and I want to.
Well, here's what generally happens is that we used to fight about it more, but now she does what she's going to do because that's how she was raised and that's what she does. I criticize her. And then when the kids screw up some way, I'm like, that's because you did this.
It's your fault. Oh, good. So you used it as ammo. Good. Like, do what you got to do. But I'm going to keep that right in my hip pocket. And when the kids screw up, that's on you. That's
buddy.
Because you bought them too many presents.
100%.
And then when you find something they haven't used, you're like, remember this thing that you thought they were going to use?
That's the other thing. Every month until the next December, it will come up in some shape, form, or fashion in one of those ways that you just said.
Do you ever offer like, hey, why don't you just rewrap the stuff they didn't use last year? You throw that guy out there?
Because then I would lose my point. What I do is I get a big pile for Goodwill, and I'm like, you see, what they don't want it all, and stuff. So that's the way we handle it now is like through sarcasm and passive aggressive, But we used to fight about it, of course.
Yeah, for sure. Makes sense.
And what's even worse is when there were more of her relatives around, like her parents have passed and everything else. But then you could take that problem and multiply it by 4 or 5, right?
Yeah.
Because they all did the same thing. And now we have all this crap coming in the house. And being OCD, I'm like, I don't want all this crap in the house.
Stuff? Yeah.
Oh, it was awful.
Yeah. So I think... I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure we're not the only ones, right? But, for me, it's sort of the same, right? There's different ideals, right? Like you grew up getting presents and what you know and how you plan on doing it and what you did, right? And how much you spent, right? Like how crazy did you go or not go?
Yeah.
And I had beat myself growing up, right? And then I said, all right, here's what I'm going to do. And when I was in the first wife, we spent some money. We had Christmas and it was great and everything went well and whatever. But we still argued, right? Did you get this one for that one? Did you get this? Oh, you spent too much on that, all that sort of stuff.
This is when your kids were younger, you mean?
But my kids were younger. But as the kids got older, right, there becomes more and more, right? There becomes just more and more. And now I've got 2 16-year-old boys, right? And I've got a 14-year-old, as well. And it's like, how do you balance the kids? And now we're blended, so that adds another level of complexity.
It's a whole other layer,
right?
That I can't
around. Oh, you want all your kids to feel equal,
right.
And so we're saying we want our kids to feel equal, and that we treat them all the same, and that we get them, we spend the same amount of money, right? And I'm just as guilty as anyone else, by the way,
of course,
because I don't want my kids to feel like they're not treated as well or doing as well and whatnot. So then you're like, how much did you spend on this one? Did you spend the same on that one and this one and whatnot? And in the end, the kids open presents and they don't care.
Not a bit.
They don't care.
Not
and at the end
bit.
of the day, some kids ask for bigger presents and smaller ones. They get what they're looking for. They don't know the price tags all the time. They're not, Now, if there was a huge disparity or something like that, they may say something, well, they got that. But they really don't, right? Like,
there's not enough of a disparity ever.
Part of my problem is, I'm just trying to think of the best way to say this. We're fighting about this stuff, and then when I say we, I mean the proverbial we of everybody.
Sure, people.
We fight about how much they're spending, and we buy them all these things, right? And then we look at people that are less fortunate, and they may struggle, and they may have hard times, and oftentimes they turn out appreciating, respecting, working harder, and doing all things that make a better human than what we create by giving them all these things in the moment piece of all of these presents. And I'm like, you know what? Like, we should have raised them with a little less money and a little harder and a little giving them less and letting them know that this isn't easy. We work hard for this stuff, and you have to work hard to get X, Y, and Z. So I look and my whole thing is, why are some people that have had such hard childhoods, such hard lives, right? And so much better, seems like they're on such a better path than some of mine. Like, I'm like,
I couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. I have this conversation all the time, and how do you reverse it? It's hard.
It's hard.
And one of the reasons it's hard is because their peer group are all in the same boat, right?
Yeah.
So that's another element to it. It's not just like the brothers and sisters not getting equal, but it's then, are they getting equal to their friends, right? Because if they see that their friends are getting more than, whatever. And it's all this stuff around like capitalism as an expression of love, which is, of course, what the companies want, right? And who does this better than any are the card companies. I guess Hallmark's, the one, but there's many others. But at the end of the day, when you go to any occasion, you're supposed to get a card. And this drives me nuts, right? Because how many cards do you get for your wife or your kids throughout the year? It's ridiculous. You write the same thing every single holiday, right? There's the birthday card and the Valentine's Day card and the Mother's Day card and the Father's Day card. There's every single one. And now cards are like $5 to $7. And the implication is, if you don't buy them a card, you really don't love them.
You're really thinking
who's
about
putting that thought in our head, right?
Right.
This is the problem. And I think it's the same thing with companies, that if you have the money, they want you to spend it. And if you don't spend it, they're going to make you feel like you don't love somebody, right? It's
that's sales, right? That's marketing.
That's sales. But we fall into it. This is the same thing with, another example of it is the diamond ring, right? Oh my goodness.
Every kiss begins with, you're going to know who it is, right? At the jeweler, right? It's
wasn't there one that I can't remember exactly they said like, something about they told you how much of your salary should be spent on an engagement ring.
I don't remember exactly.
I can't remember what the number was. Some ridiculous amount. And it's like, so then it becomes like the person on the receiving end is thinking, if you didn't spend an X amount of money on me, then you don't love me as much as. See, this is the problem.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like, who's better off? The kids that are in that system, or the kids that are like, I can't have anything. I got to work for what I want. And what's an expression of love is my parents can't afford anything, but they found a way to get me this small little token. And I just couldn't appreciate that
because,
more.
Right. As opposed to, oh, thanks. Use it for a week and shove it in the closet, leave it in the garage, do whatever, because they got so much stuff they can't get to it. Right.
And they know it didn't mean anything to us. We didn't sacrifice for it. Right.
Right.
So it's like, we got you 20 gifts, and to them, it's like, yeah, well, you could afford it. So what's the, like, exactly. You see what I mean? The whole thing is broken. It's just all broken.
I totally agree. So when you put it all together, it's like, we go through all this stress, right? We go through all this stuff back and forth. We just want to be freaking happy and drink eggnog, but we're going through all these things, you know? And, and then in the end of the day, we're getting our kids these things, and it's not making them better humans. It's making them happy in the moment. So who's it really for? In the end, they open a present and they smile and they love it. Yes, they feel good inside. You feel good watching it happen, all that sort of stuff. But that's gone, right? Does it really last? And, you know.
And does it really even, I mean, I have to say for my kids, I find my wife finding things to buy them so that they have the quantity that satisfies her. But I would say the reaction of, oh my God, I love this, maybe 10% of the stuff they actually get. Like, how much of it really makes them happy?
I think 10 might be high.
Might be high, right?
I think you're right. Yeah. We hope sometimes, right? Like, oh, this is cute or unique or different, that they may like it. That I get, you know. Yeah, it may be one thing, and then sometimes they ask for something. But I think I totally agree with you. It's the it's like, how does it look under the tree, right? Like, are there presents? Do we look? Does it look? They go down, they walk down the stairs or wherever, and they go, oh, you know, and they have that shot. Oh, it looks so beautiful. You know, the whole picture that we've all seen with all these presents overflowing and all this sort of stuff, right? And then in the end of the day, they rip through them like, oh, let's go to the next. 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 Oh, we're sitting back there going, slow down, pump the brakes, take your time. We want to enjoy this.
It's broken.
Listen, I love Christmas. I love it, but I just think we all just get caught up in it too much. I really am just, I want to be so bad that person in the family that just can appreciate it if there's, you know, a couple of presents under the tree that you know are special and unique or different, you know?
That's what makes it so good, right? You know, we lost that. And it's so funny. We weren't planning on talking about this, of course, but I just came from upstairs. My wife is doing the wrapping right now and looking at it, and it's the same conversation. It's like, what's all this? She's like, oh, because, you know, and you see the stuff and you're like, I know what the reaction is going to be, right?
I'm like, are you serious? What is all this? Yeah. You know? And then, well, I got to go get something else for him or her because it's going to look uneven. And if they, you know,
it's the worst.
Okay, so let's just go throw some more, you know, give them a $20 bill. They'll appreciate that a lot more at this age.
Well, you know, that's right. I mean, my son, that's what he wants. He doesn't want stuff. He wants money. I mean, of course he wants money.
A box of cash.
Yeah. What the heck does he want with, you know, a telescope? I mean, like we got a telescope.
I got that once. Yeah.
Well, I got that. You know how many times he's used the telescope?
When I was a kid. Yeah. And when you get
zero times.
Telescope. You got to look at it. Oh, it's so cool. You look at it a couple times at the moon and then you're done.
I mean, I could see if he was into it, you know, if he was into astronomy and anything like that. But I mean, so, you know, things like that, right? Yes, I couldn't agree more. We have the same problem and we have the same reaction. I do love Christmas.
Love it.
But I could do without that part of it. Me for too. Sure. I could do without that part of it.
Me too.
So there you go.
Yeah, okay. There it is.
Well, going backwards, how was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was actually really good.
Mine too, yeah.
There's some, you know, things that go on in my family that I will talk about another day. But this year we went to my wife's aunt's house, and she's great. My wife's Aunt Deb, she's great. And Uncle Vin and Uncle Vin's, Italian. Great Italian Thanksgiving, good people, lots of laughs, you know, it wasn't like a lot of people we knew, but we got to by the end of the night, we were, you know, hugging it out and having espresso and relaxing a little bit. So it really was a very nice Thanksgiving this year.
It was
a good
awesome.
one. It was a good one. There's nothing I could really even pick on this Thanksgiving. You know, I didn't have to cook, you know, Aunt Deb's a great cook and all sorts of stuff. And just good company, happy people, pleasant people,
Yeah.
I'm always that type of person that, if you don't know people and they're easy to get to know, I'm always a hugger, kind of bring it in. And, and there's just a lot of that feel, which was great, which was really good this year.
I have to say, I had a similar experience that, same type of thing. And the Italian thing matters to me too, right?
Yeah,
there's something about like that. And we did the same thing, and my cousins came, and we went this year. We've been doing this as a tradition. We go to Arthur Avenue. Those of you who are not familiar with this area, but like Arthur Avenue is
I think I saw somebody, I think your cousin posted
he posted, yeah.
It's the only time I see you on Facebook.
Yeah, because he posts pictures of me.
Once a year. Yeah.
But it's like the Little Italy of the Bronx, right? Which is where we are from. And so it was really great. And we went there, and this time it was like my cousin and my other cousin, who's his sister, and we grew up together, and we just
down there too.
Rarely get to spend time together.
It's great.
Just us.
Yeah.
And so we went and we found a coffee shop, and we just sat there for like an hour and a half, just talked about things. It was very, very cool.
That's awesome.
That was a great day. And the rest of the trip was good too. It was really, we had a nice Thanksgiving. There was no fights. And I was a little worried because of all the political stuff, right? But everyone kind of stayed away from it. I think people are tired of it. I think most of my family have kind of gravitated towards the middle, and they're like, there really is no good option, but maybe we lean one way or another. And so, but it didn't really even come up, which was great. It was a good Thanksgiving. Yeah. I can't say otherwise.
Yeah. I think that's a good point about that. People are tired of it. Because I didn't have it either. We didn't have any real politic talk or whatever. A couple comments here and there on different things, but nothing really. My son wasn't with me on Thanksgiving this year, but I'm with him a lot all that week and whatnot. But otherwise, it was just great. And now talking to my son, he plays in the state championship. The Connecticut State Championship on Saturday up at UConn. I
saw something about that.
Yeah. So it's exciting for football.
That's really cool. Now, are you coaching that team?
No, I don't coach football.
But baseball, you're a baseball coach. But he's doing pretty well, right?
Yeah, he's doing great.
I can't believe
he's a giant. He's like 6'2", 220 at this point, defensive end. He's an animal out there.
No, but is this the high school football team, or this is? I thought he was maybe on a different league or something like that.
No, this is his high school team. And for they're knock on wood, they've been undefeated. Knock on wood that they knocked on. That was wood. It's just something else shaked on my desk.
I thought it sounded like metal with springs. This was the mic arm, I guess. Knock on mic arm.
Yeah. But they're playing a good team. They're playing on Saturday. They get to go play up at UConn, which is awesome.
That's
so they
really
play
cool.
on the same field that UConn plays on.
Really
so
good,
they'll have that experience, and it's fun. It's exciting. I love it. I love it for him.
Oh, that's so good.
He'll never forget it, right? It's one of those things that his whole life, when you're in a sport like that, especially football and your state championships for your high school, that you're able to go there and play in it and whatever, you'll never forget it. So
now if they win, what does that make them?
That makes them state champions.
They're the best in Connecticut.
Yeah, well, they're all classed through different size.
Oh,
so
got it.
you have M, which is medium, which is what the class that they're in, and then
different
you have
size high schools.
L,
in other words. Oh,
so
I
you
see,
have L and double L, so it's like large, extra large, and medium and small. So within that class, based on the size, because the town where he is only about 800 to 900 students, whereas you talk about some other towns right next door are 1,500 to 2,000 students. So when you have a higher population, then you have more people to pick from and all sorts of stuff.
But the medium will never play like the large.
They'll play them throughout the regular season, but when they go to the playoffs are just based on the class.
So there's going to be several different state champions.
There will be for each size: small, medium, large, extra large. Yeah, there'll be one for each size. Yeah.
You never played football, did you?
I didn't play football. I wanted to. I was into football, but I played baseball and basketball. My baseball coaches were like, "Yeah, don't play football because I don't want you to get hurt." All that sort of stuff. Which, regret it. But
I would definitely get hurt.
Stupid.
Yeah. You really regret it?
I regret it. I wish I played football in high school. Yeah. I love football. I played pickup football with my brothers. Again, youngest of 4 boys. So they used to be the little guy running around out there. We used to play in the front yard every day, get off the bus, and we didn't even go inside, right? And so I just loved playing. But I never played organized sort of football. I always stuck with baseball and basketball.
Interesting. Well, listen, now you get to live through your kids, which is what adults do.
I just love the experience for them.
That's cool,
it's
man.
like, it's just so awesome.
And for you too, you get to see them play. That's awesome.
I have a blast. I love watching their games. The team is awesome.
Good.
They're tight. They've been playing together, a lot of these guys, for almost 10 years now. So, through Pop Warner and all that stuff. And now they're at high school, and, it's just fun. It's cool.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, it's cool.
Good. Let's see if they win. When is this game going to be?
Saturday.
Saturday, so we'll know next episode.
Yes, sir.
All right. There we go.
Know.
We got something to look forward to. That's good.
Yes, sir.
So good Thanksgiving. Christmas is in the works.
Yeah.
We'll follow that closely throughout the month. We took what? We took 2 weeks or 1 week off. I can't remember.
Well, we took 1 week off, so it's been 2 weeks.
Oh, it's been 2 weeks. Okay. So we didn't take that long off.
No.
But okay. So we'll do it next week for sure.
Yeah.
And we'll see where that all goes. But good to catch up.
Yeah, definitely.
We look good here. And
I don't think shirt. It's nice. You missed in a pocket, but otherwise you're all right.
It's okay. Yeah, but I don't think we'll do the. I don't think we'll do the matching.
You got something new on your window back there. We could talk about that next time. I'm not sure what's going on back there. Not sure what that is.
I'll tell you next time. How about that?
We'll just leave that as a cliffhanger.
We'll leave that as a little big cliffhanger. Tune in next week if you want to know what that is. That's it.
Hanging by Bob's window.
That's right. It's important. And there's a story to it.
Of course there is. And good luck with your mice.
Thank you. And I will keep you informed on that as well.
Please, if you can share your Bluetooth mice capture with me, and then I could be equally as excited when you catch one. That would be great.
I will show you all the details.
Perfect.
So, all right. Well, everyone, thank you again for joining for another week. And hopefully you will continue to share and comment and subscribe and all the great things. And while you're doing all that, we can't wait to see you back here on another episode of
Beyond the Beef.
Thanks for joining, everyone.
Thanks, guys.